O objetivo da estada do Mitch no Brasil é lançar a Fundação Winehouse para a reabilitação de pessoas. É sobre isto, este é o tema central sobre o qual nós vamos conversar. Aqui comigo estão conosco nosso amigo Braulio, de sempre, aqui ao meu lado. Ele, por enquanto, não vai participar, mas está ali, ó, na torcida organizada. E ao lado dele, eu convidei a Amy Winehouse, da minha casa, que é a Bruna, que está aqui, ó.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse Wills. É a Bruna, que é nossa filha, é a segunda filha da Adriana e a minha filha do coração. Eu tenho uma filha mulher, a Juliana, que tem 31 anos, e ganhei há 16 anos atrás esta outra filha, a Bruna Winehouse Wills, que está aqui com a gente. Deus te abençoe, Maná.
Amém.
Olha só, gente boa. Mitch, welcome to Papo de Graça.
Hi.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, Mitch, it really was a pleasure when I got to know that we would have the chance of talking this morning. And I love the reasons that brought you here. And I'd like you to state the objectives of your coming to Brazil. What does mean establishing also in Brazil the Amy Winehouse Foundation? Tell us.
Okay, well, after Amy passed away in July 2011, we created the Amy Winehouse Foundation, and during that period we have established a number of projects. We have we feed 65 homeless kids in London every day. We work with children's hospices. We've got recovery houses for women. We've got the schools project. This year we've spoken to 60,000 kids in schools. We've got projects in the USA. We've got projects in Jamaica and in St. Lucia. And you know, all these things are very important, and Amy would have loved them. And when she came to Brazil in 2011, she in 2010, 2011, she called me and she said, "Dad, Brazil's fantastic. Come out now." And I said I couldn't come because I was working. And she said, "Oh, it's great here. You know, you'd love it." And she had such a wonderful time. So we have been thinking for a couple of years that we would like to go into the favelas and work with people in the favelas to help kids through, ideally through music. And we were introduced to Afro Reggae, which is in the Vigário Geral favela, which is just outside Rio. And we went to, we looked at them very carefully, and then we went to see them last week, earlier this week, and we were just blown away. It's a fantastic project. They're taking kids who are affected by crime and drugs, and they're rehabilitating them through music and dance and singing. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
And just as important, you know, they're feeding over 500 kids every day. You know, and another important thing for Amy was to feed people. She was feeding people all. That's why I'm so fat, because she was feeding me all the time. And it's very important that it's no good having music and dance and if the kids are hungry. So it's important that the kids are well fed, and that's what they do at Afro Reggae. They have all these wonderful projects. It's dancing and singing, but they feed the kids too, and that's why we were so blown away by what we saw. And we're going to be making a contribution. We're going to be making a donation next week, and we're hoping that we're going to be working on an ongoing basis with Afro Reggae. We're very excited.
Good. Yeah, I know them from a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, they even worked in Vigário Geral, in a place that I had bought some years ago, in which we had what we called House of Peace. House of Peace. Afterwards, House of Peace was handed over to Afro Hagi, and they continued to do their job over there. And nearby, I had a social work, a big one, called Factory of Hope in Rio, 20 years ago, up to 20 years ago. It worked for 8 years beautifully, and we were happy to receive and help 24,000 kids per day over there in 65 projects going on simultaneously. And the violence and everything around came down from 100% before, it came down to 5%. It was beautiful. So everything that anyone can with the heart to do in relationship to diminishing the impoverishment and empowering kids and teenagers with hope and new perspectives will help tremendously, will help immensely. So I salute you very much, and if you think there is anything else that you can do to promote, to help, to encourage, we are going to be glad to do.
Well, as I say, Amy loved Brazil, and she loves kids, and she loves feeding people. So, I mean, for us, it's the next step. It's natural for us to do this stuff. Mm-hmm. I've got it, don't worry.
Yeah. And listen, I have over here, I don't know if you saw in the introduction, my daughter loves. Before loves today, we will love tomorrow. Amy Winehouse, and she's over here. And I would like her to bring a question to you or something that is in her heart.
Okay.
So, yes. Show Bruna. You may go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Mitchell. I'm a big fan of your daughter, and my family and my friends, they all know how I admire her, not only for her powerful voice, but also because I think she was really clever and ironic and sensitive, romantic and sweet. And I would like to know what part of her has more to do with you, and what do you think is essential in a relationship between father and daughter, and how did it change when she became addicted? How did it affect your relation?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard. Well, we had a wonderful, this film has just, this stupid film has just come out.
Yes.
And, it's very difficult for me because we had, Amy and I had like you and your dad, we had a wonderful relationship. And there were times, because of Amy's struggles with her addictions, that it was difficult. But at no point did we ever leave Amy. We always sought medical help for her, and she did herself. So anything about us not getting her medical help is just ridiculous. But when she started to struggle with her addictions, in a way it kind of brought us even closer together, because we just couldn't. It's like how can I explain? It's like your mum or your dad when they're sick, and you have to look after them. You don't run away from your mum and your dad when they're sick and they're dying. Amy wasn't dying, but you understand what I mean. You don't abandon them when they need you. Some people can do that. We couldn't do that. So our relationship grew stronger, and her family's relationship grew stronger with her too. So any inference that her family weren't there, or it's ridiculous. It's just preposterous, because we spent our lives looking after Amy. But she also spent her life looking after us too, because, you know, this film gives the impression that she was helpless, and she wasn't. You know, there were days when things were very bad, and there were days when things were perfectly normal. And that is how it was. Oh, you've got the flicks on your eyes like Amy, I can see.
Yeah, but I think
when things were perfectly normal. And towards the end of her life, you know, it wasn't, you know, she didn't take drugs for 3 years. And the important message which the film didn't explain was that alcohol is far more dangerous than drugs.
Yeah, we know that. And you know,
so what I'm saying, so our relationship was always very strong, with like you and your daughter, and not just with me, but with the whole family and with her friends. That film doesn't explain that she had all of her friends and security around her, and all, you know, and where was her boyfriend? Where was her boyfriend in this film? He wasn't even in the film. So anyway, I don't know if that answered your question, but I hope it did.
In fact, I think that what Bruno was asking had to do with essence, because you are a musician.
Yeah.
And she took it from you too. And what aspects of her personality had more to do with you? Which part of her essence you feel every day?
Her personality is like mine. Her mum is quiet. But her mum, on her mum's side of the family, there were 4 professional musicians. And they were all good musicians. My family and me, we're the singers. So it was a good mix.
Yeah, good combination. Musicians on one side and singers on the other side. But listen, I got to know about this movie. I didn't see it, but my daughter told me, and that's something ridiculous. But it wasn't what she was really concerned about. And especially because we know it from inside, from within, how it works. For instance, I had a son who was 1 year older than Amy. Amy was born in 1983. My son Lucas was born in 1982. And he died when he was 22. She died when she was 27. She went into drugs. He also got addicted. I had to intern him. I had to take him to a clinic. I had to be with him there for 3-4 months. I know how hard it is, what it takes from you, how it involves the whole family. And it can bring together and make a family even stronger to do with that. He didn't die from the drugs. He was run over in a road, coming back home from a party with his friends and brother and sisters and some other people. So we know very well from our family that people from away, from outside, can look at a situation like that and bring judgments, horrible and fearful judgments. So we understand you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And I would like to know if you want to ask something else for him. Bruno is okay. And I want to say that people who work with you may feel free to call me. They have my number and the contacts, everything, to send information, to ask to promote over here. And as many times as you produce something to TV, ads, promotions, letting people know what's going on in relationship to Amy Winehouse Foundation, you may send it to us. We will always promote it.
Thank you very
much. Okay, my friend. And I desire from all my heart that the Lord blesses you. And my conviction is that we all will be together. I will really listen to Amy sing the songs, the unthinkable, indescribable, and glorious songs that she had never heard before, because they had never come up to a human heart, but now they are impregnating her soul forever in Christ. And thank you for coming over here. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Vem Vê TV. O canal é você.